Hello and welcome to Knock Off The Perch, a Manchester United podcast. And today we are talking about the Northwest Derby. Manchester United go to Anfield to take on the league champions Liverpool. Always a big match for Manchester United fans, and we haven't been beaten at Anfield for the last 2 years. The two games have been draws, but before that we have had a very poor history of going to Anfield. Dheeraj, let's get right into it. What are your initial thoughts going into the game against Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean, this is a game which usually give me the shivers because of how Salah gets into the game against United every time. But seeing Liverpool this year, their 6, 7 games, they haven't quite clicked. So that gives me some confidence. It's as 50-50 a game as a game can be. And these two teams, which have been rivals for time unknown since the Industrial Revolution, 50
Yeah.
kilometers apart, big powerhouses of football. The distance seems bigger between them, but maybe on the pitch, maybe it's not that big a distance. I feel we are just a couple of games away from getting into that, second, third gear. We have seen signs from United, 20, 30 minutes or 40 minutes of great action in
Yeah.
almost every game in which we felt like United could take the game by the scruff of neck and win it. Somehow lack of concentration, visual errors, sometimes management errors as well in the subs and all has made it a point that we are in the position that we are. But like we can see on the screen, if you could take us through it.
Yeah, 7 games in, and we are already 5 points behind Liverpool, the league champions. But this story could have been much worse. Couple of games before, we were sitting on 6 points. Liverpool were already sitting on 15 points. And since then, Liverpool have lost the last two Premier League games. We have managed to get 4 points from those Premier League games. And while points tell a story, and in the recent press conference, Arne Slot himself spoke about the fact that maybe the table doesn't do justice to the kind of performances Manchester United has shown. So there is some optimism for us as Manchester United fans. We have created more XG than Liverpool. We have conceded less goals overall than Liverpool in the 7 games so far. So while obviously on paper, with the kind of signings Liverpool have done, they are a much better squad, but that squad has seen a lot of changes, and one could argue that they haven't really clicked so far. With words coming in, they have made slight tweaks from the Klopp-esque possession style of 4-3-3 to a more of a 4-2-3-1, where Words was expected to sit in the hole. We are not even sure he will start the next game, but uh, so some of those clicks haven't come from for Liverpool. And at the
Mhm.
same time, it seems Manchester United is getting better. We are becoming a more cohesive unit, especially in attack, with Sesko starting to get into games. His overall play has been much better. He has finished 2-2 in the last games. So there is hope. There is hope as Manchester United fans.
Yeah, my biggest concern when we talk about XG is even though United have created the highest XG so far in Premier League, we have also the highest underperformance of XG,
Correct.
not only in England but in all the major five leagues. It's an underperformance of 5 XG, and the fact that we have out of these 9 goals that we have scored, these are two own goals which do not carry any XG value. So
Yeah.
we are our underperformance of XG is somewhere around the level of 7. So we should have almost 7 more goals than we have scored, which
Right.
again bites down into that last year we were talking about lack of clinical edge. And even though on paper and by the eye test, we see we are much more sharper with the introduction of Bumo, Cunha. There seems to be certain missing finishing link, and I really hope that Sesko, now that he's getting a consistent run in the team, can provide that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think as you spoke about the clinical nature, I think the fact that our front three with Cunha, Mbumo, and Sesko is relatively new, and one could argue that probably this is a game where once more Mount might start ahead of Cunha in this game as well. The fact that they will take time to gel together, the fact that we've been playing a lot more direct, so there is a different style of play. We are playing a lot more through our right side, whether it is Ahmad or whether it is Mbumo. So there especially have been differences in how we take the ball forward, how we attack, and it will take time, but hopefully we will be able to sort of convert more of those chances, because a team like Liverpool won't allow you so many chances. So you have to take whatever you get and be clinical in those. So I think that is going to be very critical in this game.
Funnily enough, you mentioned that we've been creating chances from our right hand side. Liverpool have been conceding their chances from their right hand side the most. 43% of the chances that they have conceded have come from the right hand side. This comes from the fact that they have lost Trent, and Frimpong has yet to put his foot down and make the right back position his own. There's been Connor Bradley who's performed there quite a good number of times this season, and we've seen Dominic Soboslai play from there, who's by the way been quite much on form this season. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
right hand side is where United will have to be a bit more clinical. Liverpool's right hand side.
Exactly, exactly. And let's talk about the potential 11 on both the sides and what the matchups could be, what the gameplay could be. And let's start with how United could line up. And obviously, this is a template. A couple of names could go either ways. What do you make of it? And the thought process that we have as we try and look at our predicted 11 for this game is the fact that Cunha and Casemiro have been off to Asia. They were in Korea and Japan, and Casemiro played 180 minutes. I think Cunha didn't play much in the second game, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
But still, he was with the squad in Asia, and then they traveled back. They got an extra day off, and also the decision between Dalo and Ahmad in terms of who starts on right wing back. Probably in a game like this, where at least to start with, Amorim will want to sort of be defensively a little more solid, might start Dalo ahead, and which would mean Dorgu starts left wing back. Any thoughts on the predicted 11?
I'd very much like Ahmad to start this one. Ahmad has a good record against the big teams, City and Liverpool. He scored twice against Liverpool in the last few matches. So I'd very much love to see Ahmad there. Ahmad also because he's much more direct than Dalo.
Yeah,
Dalo does dilly-dally a lot, and a combination play of Ahmad and Bumo has been giving us dividends this year, and we should continue on that vein. Shaw also, I'm not super confident on with that side being attacked by Salah. We do concede a lot of chances. I think we're we concede the third most chances in the leagues after Burnley and West Ham.
yeah,
And most of these shots are also high XG shots that we concede. I think 0.16 is the figure.
yeah,
A typical team who is fighting for relegation places, a mid team, uh, won't convert these chances, but against the likes of Salah, who hasn't, by the way, clicked this season as of
yeah,
now yet, but he always turns up against United, doesn't he? He has about what
yeah.
19 goals and assists against United already in his career, which is the most by any player ever, by the way.
Agree, agree. And Salah is a big player. I think there has been a little bit of a shift with them playing that 4-2-3-1 sort of a formation
Hmm,
where
hmm, hmm.
the role of somebody like Shoboslai or Words, who's playing in that whole sort of a position, I think what ends up happening is it means that a player like Salah will have to stay wide much longer than he likes. He likes to drift inside a lot, but if there is already somebody present in that whole sort of a position, then instead of overcrowding, I think the expectation from him has been to stay close towards the right side where he's probably not able to create as much impact. So I think that is going to be something that Liverpool might want to change. And even if they don't change, I think Salah is going to be a handful for Dorgu and Shaw. And they will have to figure out a way to navigate against that.
What other key battles? Where do you think United's attacks are going to come from? I'm counting a lot on the long balls that we've been seeing from Bruno and Ugarte to Bumo. And so Bumo will have a big role to play in this one on how he
Yeah,
navigates this against the likes of Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk likes to give the attackers the whole time and space to attack. So Bumo
correct.
will have to be on his toes to take that opportunity, nick the ball against Virgil van Dijk, or create more opportunities for whoever is overlapping or
Yeah.
underlapping in the form of Sheshko and Mount.
Absolutely. And if we talk about these opportunities where they could come for Manchester United, I think they will come on the transition. So when Liverpool is attacking, what might end up happening is the likes of Kerkez or Frimpong or one of them will be sort of slightly higher up the pitch. They will want McAllister, Gravenberg. They will be sort of tugging close to our central midfielders. And what that might do is that might create a little bit of a space for Mbuemo to sort of play around. And if we are able to get the ball to Mbuemo in that transition, and then VVD will be sort of trying to be close to Sesko, and then Mbuemo runs in, and which is where I think the chances will get created. So I think that is going to be the biggest matchup, I believe, in this entire setup. But what we'll have to navigate very closely is if Shoboslai sort of or Verge, whoever is playing, drops deep, then what will happen is we will have this 3v2 where the likes of McAllister, Gravenberch, and Soboslai will try to overpower Bruno and whoever the second central midfielder is, whether that's Ugarte, Casemiro. And that has typically been the play of opposition, whether it was Fulham, whether it was Manchester City. They overloaded the midfield, and Manchester United did not have any answer. And which is where I think what Amorim likes is for Mount to support the
Yeah,
midfield, for Mbuemo to stay up, and it sort of almost becomes
yeah,
like a 3-5-2 sort of a setup, or
yeah.
even the likes of Dorgu will support up front, Dallo will go back, and it almost creates like a 4-4-2 kind of a setup at times as well. So I think that is going to be very, very interesting in terms of how Manchester United navigate against that. What do you think?
Definitely, definitely. I do have a lot of faith in the intelligence of Mount to drop in these spaces, do a 1-2 just to ease off the pressure, and also not just ease off the pressure. He also has the eye and the skill to, just nick off the ball of the players and get an attack going. If you see the last goal that he scored against mm, Brentford, I want to say
Sunderland.
Sunderland. Yeah. So the ball which came from Mbumo.
Yeah,
He controlled it like very high ball and really when no one was expecting him to take a shot, he did that. So there is some,
yeah,
big dog energy that we are seeing from Mount, which has been lacking by the way. Now he's behaving like a number seven of Manchester United, like he should. So
correct.
yes, big hopes out of Mount, and I'm pretty sure that Cunha wouldn't love being on the bench for Mount. So this is the time when I'm loving that our squad strength in that number 10 positions. Of course, when the season started, I was very much in the camp of we should have gotten one more midfielder. But right now, I'm loving this number 10 strength because Cunha, once he comes in at 60th, 70th minute, he's going to cause havoc. If we are leading, if we are drawing, whatever the position of the game on, he's going to go for goal. He's not someone who, shies away from taking a shot from far. And I've seen his goals against Liverpool, the compilation of his goals against Liverpool, all bangers by the way.
Absolutely. Let's hope. Let's hope he does that. Now that we have spoken about all of this, what are your predictions for the game, and who do you think the scorers will be?
I'll go for a 2-1 victory, which we are going to nick. Of course, my partner, who's a Liverpool fan, she thinks differently. She says that we're going to be a 3-1 Liverpool win. She did give us one goal, but screw that. We're going to win 2-1 this game. And Sheshko is going to score and Bumo is going to score.
Very interesting rivalry at home for you, Dheeraj. I am going for a little conservative prediction this time. I am going for a 1-1 draw. I
Mhm.
think it's going to be a little bit of a game where both the teams are trying to tactically outsmart each other, but it will be a cagey game. I think Sheshko is going to grab a goal, be 3-3, while we might concede as well, and it will be a close 1-1 draw, is what my thought is.
So no clean sheets from either of us, both teams scoring. Of course,
Yeah.
my prediction is that we might nick it in the end. Could be the other way around with the way Liverpool has been playing. They've been scoring a lot of goals, 80th minute and
Also
onwards.
conceding. I think the last two games that they've
Oh
lost
yeah, yeah,
against
exactly.
Chelsea, against Crystal Palace, they've conceded in extra time. So
Yeah.
by 90th minute, it could be 1-1 and then it could go either way. Let's hope these Manchester United players are able to gravitate towards leading Manchester United to a win against Liverpool tomorrow. And hopefully, we are only just 2 points behind Liverpool at the end of it and propel us into the fight for the European positions. As always, this is our perch. Let's knock him off. Until next time, stay united.